In the recent times, we have been seeing people talking about anxiety and depression. Can we actually say smile is a kind of a trick for the brain to change our mood into happiness?
Smile is one of the component in mental health. In our examination also, depression people they doesn't smile at all. So
Oh,
many patients they come to me, they tell, I don't even remember the last time when I'm happy.
or what actually happens in the brain that releases these chemicals?
The facial muscles which we use for smile, they send signals to the brain to release more of this. See, if we don't smile, stress increasing neurochemicals, which are
Please explain more about this mirror therapy, ma'am.
when you are alone. It is your me time. Look into the mirror and just smile. The more you smile, the more.
In the day-to-day life, a lot of people experience a lot of emotions. Some people fake a smile because they want to trick their brain. But is that also going to help? Does smile really reduce anxiety and depression, and how? Any other tips that you want to give, ma'am? They don't express their emotion outside. Either it is anger or even if it is happiness, they do everything inside. They don't express it outside. Is that good or is that bad? Welcome to Medica's video podcast. My name is Varun. I hope you're all doing well. Once again, thank you very much for the appreciation that we have been receiving for all the health updates and recordings we have been doing so far. Your appreciations, your likes, as well as your shares are our strength. This actually boosts our energy in bringing in more information, more practical details about our day-to-day health life uh, in front of you. Today, we have come up with a very interesting subject which everyone can relate to: smile. So, smile is the biggest gift that God has given to us, which makes us forget all the problems that we have been experiencing so far. For some reason, there are few people or there are few situations where we are unable to smile. For some people, they have forgotten to smile completely into their day to day life because of the busy schedules they have. Smile can do magics. It can do wonders. It can actually cool down a person who's actually heated up and who's very angry as well. So there are few important questions that we will discuss today regarding smile. And I'm sure all these questions are some things that we'll all relate to in our day-to-day life. So to discuss these questions, we have Dr. Tejaswini Billa. She is a consultant psychiatrist. She's from Bangalore. So let's welcome her. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for accepting our invite. We really appreciate your time. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Varun. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, as you know, we want to discuss about smile. Smile is again an emotion, and everyone knows what a smile is. But then there is this important question that I want to ask you. In the day-to-day life, a lot of people experience a lot of emotions. In the recent times, we have been seeing people talking about anxiety and depression and disappointment. So, can we actually say smile is a kind of a trick? It's a trick for the brain to change our mood into happiness.
Smile is an emotion. So it is the reflection of our thought process. So we are smiling means it means we are positive, we are joyous, we are happy. So when we smile, what happens is it increases mood enhancing chemicals like serotonin and neuropeptides. It will reduce the stress causing chemicals like cortisol and dopamine. The serotonin and neuropeptides are directly linked in reducing the depression, in reducing the anxiety, in boosting up the mood, in improving the smile and all. And the facial muscles which we use for smile, they send signals to the brain to release more of these happy chemicals: serotonin, dopamine, and neuropeptides. These are happy chemicals.
Ma'am, where does these chemicals lie in our brain? Is that like a magic that happens in the brain, or what actually happens in the brain that releases these chemicals?
Yeah, so these chemicals they are released into the bloodstream. So when we take some food from the proteins, the protein food we take, it is converted into amino acids, and from that amino acids, this magic happens in the brain.
Oh, okay, okay. From the amino acids. Okay, right, right. And what actually happens in the brain, ma'am, when I smile? Let's say, for example, we are smiling now, right? It may be a real smile or it may be a fake smile. We will talk about that later. But then again, what actually happens to our brain when we smile?
Our brain receives signals that we are happy, we are smiling, and it releases more of these chemicals. Certain areas of the brain will be triggered, and these chemicals will be released into the bloodstream.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, I have actually observed this personally, okay? When we go outside, when we actually interact with other people's outside, it may be in an office location or it may be someone, a bystander when we go on the road, a pedestrian or a fellow bike rider or a car rider and all. We see a lot of these road rages that are happening. Either when you go on a car, so there is someone that you're shouting at, there is someone who's shouting at you, bikes, or even when we are walking outside. So I actually did this exercise by myself, ma'am, when we actually thought of doing this, podcast related to smile. So when I went outside, instead of walking away or, going away with no emotion, I started smiling at people. So even, when I was actually driving, there would be some situations because of the traffic congestion and all, we may probably go into a situation where we block someone or someone blocks at us. So
Yeah.
instead of getting angry on them, I started smiling at them. That created a beautiful environment. I received a smile back from that person, and we just passed by with absolutely no congestion or no kind of rupture at all. So,
Yeah.
is this something which is normal? Is this how powerful smile is?
Yeah. See, it is like two thought process are colliding each other. So in the first scenario, when the other person, because of mistake on from our side or from their side, the other person shouts at us and we shout at him. It goes on increasing. And in the second scenario, one thought process has changed, and we have converted the entire thing. It's okay. It happened by mistake. Nobody does it wanted by mistake, and sometimes by mistake mistakes also lead to some major things. I accept that, but small things, it's okay to let it go.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. So
great,
when
great.
this second scenario thought process collide, definitely the fight and anger, rage of emotions, that will be cooled down. The thought process also comes into the positivity.
Right, 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 ma'am. Ma'am, as we talk about this now, we just spoke about anger as an emotion, right? So there are a lot of people who suffer with anxiety as well as depression. Does smile really reduce anxiety and depression, and how?
See what anxiety, where generally people get anxiety because of neurochemical imbalance in the brain. We were talking about the neurochemicals earlier. So the
Yes.
neurochemicals which are directly related in anxiety is serotonin and certain
Oh,
neuropeptides and noradrenaline. So what happens is when we smile, serotonin increases. It's a happy hormone, happy chemical. So to some extent, it will reduce the anxiety.
okay, okay. Ma'am, there will be some people, because this is again a common saying, there will be some people who never smile, who never has any sort of smiling factors on their face. And people used to tell them, hey, look at that face never smiles and everything else. So, what affects a body if you don't smile at all? Well, we just spoke about how smile helps. If there is a person who doesn't smile at all, what kind of effect or what kind of impact it makes on our body or in our brain if we don't smile?
Yeah, see, if we don't smile, stress increasing neurochemicals, which are cortisol and adrenaline. So these will increase, and cortisol is directly related to stress. It will increase the stress. So
Okay,
it will
okay.
be in a vicious cycle. So stress causing anxiety, anxiety again causing stress, and again anxiety. So that it will be like a cycle.
Okay, okay. So it's like, you flush out these anxious or these anxiety causing hormones once in a while with a smile, because that actually reduces these anxiety causing hormones and increases happy hormones. Got it, ma'am. Ma'am, in your experience, okay, how do you heal people into smiling? Because what kind of a role, because you actually follow a protocol, right? If someone is suffering with anxiety. So in your protocol, to when you treat a person with anxiety, where does this smile factor fit in? And how do you actually treat, or how do you make sure that person smiles regularly, which also, helps them, release these happy hormones?
See, Varun, smile is one of the component in mental health. In our examination also, mental status examination. So, if a person is overly smiling, inappropriately smiling, that person is having bipolar affective disorder. He is laughing to himself. We see some
Oh.
insane people laugh at themselves.
Yes, yes, we have seen that. And we usually say that, they're probably mentally imbalanced. That's how people usually tease them. If
That
they
is one.
laugh to themselves.
Yeah, yeah. That is one edge of the smile, and the other edge is depression. People, they doesn't smile at all. So
Oh,
many patients, they come to me. They tell, I don't even remember the last time when I'm happy. I don't even
oh.
remember the last time when I laughed or smiled to my fullest.
Okay, okay, okay. So how do you
So
treat them, ma'am? Yeah, please go ahead.
So they will be in a depressive cognition. Like their thoughts will be in a negative way, negative thoughts, negative emotions. So they will be entirely in the depressive cognition. So when I try to counsel them, one thought of positivity, one thought which I put in their thought process. Suddenly I see smile in them. Until that they
Okay,
won't smile. So for
okay.
example, one of the patients, she was continuously feeling depressed and sad because of her past experiences, and the persons who has caused these experiences, she's constantly thinking about that. She's in that loop constantly. So I just asked her, are they that worth, are
Okay.
those persons that worth of ruining your mental health, your physical health? Because stress and mental health, it directly impacts the physical health as well. Do you
Right,
feel
right, right.
that work? So suddenly she took a pause. She took a pause and, yes, ma'am, they're not that work. From now onwards, I'm deleting these thoughts from my thought process.
That's
She
wonderful.
told, and from that time onwards, the way she's thinking, every time she's reminding these words.
Right, right, ma'am. Excellent. That's a wonderful therapy. Ma'am, in the similar way, can you give some small tips to our viewers to smile more in their day-to-day life?
Yeah. So in our day-to-day life, we come across our colleagues or our friends or neighbors. So what if we see like this? It will create a negative impact in on our identity. So
Yes.
the same thing. If we smile, they smile too, and it increases happy hormones in us. It increases happy hormones in them. It increases our self image. It increases confidence. So when we come across our neighbors or colleagues, greet them with a smile. And
Okay.
when you are alone, there's something called mirror smile therapy. Look into
Okay.
yourself. Look into
Yes,
yourself
yes.
in the
I was
mirror.
about to ask you that question, ma'am. I heard about this mirror therapy and you just brought up the topic. Please explain more about this mirror therapy, ma'am.
When you are alone, it is your me time. Look into the mirror and just smile. The more you smile, the more your brain get stimulated, and it
Okay.
increases your confidence. It increases your positivity.
Right, right, right. Great, great. Any other tips that you want to give, ma'am? Like, for an example, whenever we think about our childhood memories, when we think about our childhood memories, automatically there's a smile that comes on our face. When we think about a beautiful trip we went with our friends or with our family, we get a smile on our face. In a similar manner, are there any tips that you have practically given to your patients or which works really well to have more smiles in a day?
See, coming to this, you can think of in this mirror therapy, you can think of your achievements in the past. You can think of the best memories you had in the past. You can think of the things which you feel gratified about in your life.
Right, right, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Ma'am, there is another question that I would like to ask you. There is a movie which everyone can actually relate to what it is. In that movie, that female casting, whoever that heroine, one of the female castings, was taught to actually smile inside, so which was very new to a lot of people. Okay, so and they don't express their emotion outside, either it is anger or even if it is happiness. So even if it is way too much anger or happiness, they do everything inside. They don't express it
Yeah, yeah.
outside. So is that good or is that bad? When you have to smile, is it good to smile out? Or it's like laugh out loud, right? LOL, we usually call it as. Or is it
Yeah.
like just sit calmly and smile inside with only our eyes? Because that's another way of expressing that you're happy also. Which one is much better in increasing those happy hormones?
Yeah, it is better to smile. It is always better to process our emotions, process our thoughts, and process our feelings to the fullest at that moment. If we suppress at that moment, that in the future, that it might turn into anxiety, stress.
Got it. Understood. Well, lastly, I'd like to actually ask a few questions, which I usually ask all the participants and all the guests that we have. One myth about the smile and mental health. What would that be?
So, see, one myth about smile is in our society. When see, I was watching a movie, in our family together. So one of the middle aged in my home, see how openly she is laughing in her marriage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she should be like shy. They expect her to be shy. They expect to be
Okay.
like
Right.
not opening up much.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So that's a
uh,
stigma. Okay. 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 So if you smile
yeah.
more, they feel like, okay, they shouldn't be smiling that much. They shouldn't be laughing that much in front of everyone. Okay. Okay. Got it, ma'am.
So that
Okay.
myth has to go.
Yeah, that's more of a stigma. Yes, ma'am. I agree with you on that. Ma'am, if is it okay because some people fake a smile because they want to trick their brain. You usually see that in the parks when you go for a morning walk, when you go for a morning jog, you actually see a group of people forming together and they just laugh out. They
Yeah,
and most of it is a fake laugh. Probably they laugh it for the real also. I don't know. But is that also going to help?
yeah, yeah. See, this is called as laughter therapy.
Okay. Okay. So it works. Okay.
Yeah,
Even if
it
it
works.
is free. Okay. Okay. Good. Great.
The
Great.
more you
Ma'am,
laugh, the more the happy chemical boost you get into your bloodstream.
okay. So it's good. Thank you, ma'am. Because it looks awkward. But no, I kind of understood now that it is
It looks
definitely trying to
awkward.
help.
It looks awkward when you are doing you alone sit in a place. When you're doing alone, everybody around you is very serious.
Okay. Yes, I agree. I agree,
If
ma'am.
you
Correct.
smile at somebody's funeral, it looks awkward.
It
It
looks
doesn't look
awkward.
good. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
but
Correct,
in
ma'am.
a
Correct.
group, if you're doing, it's good.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for that. Ma'am, can you give some bedtime tips for a better rest?
Before bedtime, doing gratitude meditation, and
Mm-hmm.
it improves positive thoughts. It improves positive emotions. Having a sufficient physical exercise. Everybody should have physical exercise every day. When you exercise, you feel tired, and your sleep will be good. Having a cup of warm milk, mirrors smile therapy. One can do before going to bed because
Okay.
there is nobody around. And
Yes.
avoiding tea and coffee,
Okay.
alcohol.
Okay, okay, because those generate a lot of gas, I believe. It makes you become more anxious. Okay, okay, great, man. Thank you.
One more thing, these days many people are taking gadgets to the bed. So until they go to sleep, they see the gadgets.
They see the gadgets. Yeah, I mean, this is unfortunately something that is an addiction more than alcohol, taking their phones into the bed and without watching that reel or whatever that story or whatever it is, they are unable to sleep. And yeah, I mean, I think we all should come out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you try this mirror therapy. It's very simple, as Dr. Tejaswini was suggesting us. Just stand in front of a mirror, start smiling, think about some good memories, think about some childhood memories, think about those that have given you happiness in the past, and start smiling. Look at how beautiful your faces are. Write in the comments how you felt after you have performed this mirror therapy. It's definitely going to spread like a wildfire because smile is a contagious, good contagious wildfire that we should spread instead of anger or anything else which is causing negativity around us. I hope you have liked this podcast. And if you have any questions regarding this podcast, you can write down your comments. And you can also reach Dr. Tejaswini on our website and also our mobile application. It is scrolling down. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I will get back to you with yet another wonderful topic. Dr. Tejaswini, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. Namaste.